Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hi, Wadini. Hello, Miss. Hello, how are you? Hi, Kate Louise. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Hi, Emma. Hi, Corios. How are you doing today? Welcome, everyone. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Stella. You're very kind, Stella. I'm doing well, thank you. Hello, Dies. Hello, Nicole. How are you, Melissa? I knew what you meant, Stella. I knew what you meant. Totally get it. Hi, Patricia. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Hi, Becky. Long time no see. Yes. Hello, Gon. Hi, Dolly. We're going to do a chakra reading today, actually. Hi, Bronco. We're not going to be doing... Oh, Kimmy, you're so sweet. Thank you. Can't wait to see these cards today. You feel like a stuck robot vacuum against a wall? Hey, but what do? They redirect themselves. Hi, Becca. Oh, you're listening to Step by Step? I love it. Love it. The concert was amazing. Hi, Mike. I'm well. Everything's shaken as per usual. Hi, Debbie. I'm not going to do a general collective like we usually do today. I'm going to do the chakra reading as if I were doing it for YouTube. I said to myself, the day flew by, it kind of got away from me a little bit, and I thought, let's do something a little different today. Why don't we do a live, it's almost like a live recording of the chakra reading. Hi, Sarah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some overall messages for the day, and then we're going to go through each chakra and pull some cards and see what's going on. Hi, Stephen. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Sounds good? Sounds good? Alrighty. Well, I'm glad you guys are here with me. I appreciate it. I would say that today is a very heavy day emotionally. I think there's a lot of tension in the air. The full moon in Aquarius was not easy. Thank you, Sarah. And a lot of people have been struggling. Hi, Hifa. How are you? A little shock and awe with the chakra. You got it. Thank you, Hifa. You're very kind. Hi, Carol. Good evening. How are things in the Netherlands today? Hi, Diane. Good morning, Allison. Looking forward to it. Amazing. I'm so happy you're here with us. So let's do a word of the day. Let's start off with the word of the day. Tell me how you're feeling. You've been okay? What did I do for the blue moon? You know what? I was so exhausted. I'm sure many of you were too. Hi, Jen. How are you doing today? I was so tired. I couldn't make it on live. You're adjusting. I feel you. I feel it. You feel uneasy. You feel happy, Emma? I'm glad to hear that. Hopeful, Kimmy? Good, good. Confident but stuck. I hear you. Not an easy energy. You feel the anxiety? Yeah, Jeannie, I get it. Lots of emotions. I'll tell you what my word of the day is. And I used it in a few different circumstances today. And that was a barrage. Not a word I use often. It kind of reminds of demure. You know, all the demure videos going on. A barrage of emotions. You feel exhausted. Yeah, I understand, Dana. You're at peace now, Becca? Good, good, good. Little stressed, you're house hunting? That can be stressful. Hi, Jose, I'm well, thank you. How are you? I said tower and it happened. A lot of people are feeling it. You did a 60-minute magnesium salt soak. Sounds good to me. Exactly, Jen. The response was clear and no hesitation. And he's showing up. I love hearing that. Good, Donna. I'm glad to hear that. Bonjour, Druzy. Hi, Gurinder. How are you? Hi, Keeks. Finally having energy, but you're starving. I'm hungry too, actually. Tired and overwhelmed. You had to take the day off. Always good to see you, Kelly. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. You're feeling optimistic? So my word of the day, like I said, is barrage. A barrage of things. Hi, Roxanne. But I think that things are coming to the surface for a lot of people. And let me just share what is the overall vibe. So this morning I filmed a Kelly Talks video. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to post it yet. I haven't looked at it. I haven't put it together yet. And it was about grief. So I think the title of this video is, You May Be Grieving and Not Even Realize It. I've come to the conclusion after all the sessions that I've been doing. Hi, Tanis, how are you? After all the sessions that I've been doing, I've come to the conclusion that grief is not just about the loss of a person or a loved one. And we know that. I mean, that's not rocket science. However, I do feel like many of you are grieving career changes, loss of friends, loss of relationships, loss of identity. Grief is an ugly beast. And I sat down today with the intention of filming this video, and then I realized there were so many things that I forgot to say in the video. So I would ask a favor of all of you, if you could. I would like you guys to watch that video if I post it. I'm hoping that I will, and give me some feedback about grief. I would really appreciate it. You know, a comment about your definition. I would like to know what topics you'd like me to discuss in regards to grief. It's a very serious matter to me because I can't even talk all of a sudden. It's like I'm flustered by it. The anniversary of my father's passing is in September, and it's been on my mind. And I've been talking to a lot of you about different issues regarding grief lately, and it made me think. And I think we have to find ways to push through those emotions. And so your feedback would mean a lot to me. So I am gonna look at putting that video together, hi Nick, and posting it on YouTube. And if you guys could give me some feedback about grief or things you'd like me to cover based on experience, whether that's personal or professional. And yeah. Yes, Steph just logged on. I'm going to be doing the grief video. I filmed it this morning, but there's so much that I couldn't even cover. I didn't even say some of the things that I wanted to say, and maybe I'll make a follow-up reflection video, but I would love it if you guys could watch it, give me some commentary, some feedback, some thoughts. It would really help me out. I think we're all in this together. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. I think we're all in this together. And I think universally what I'm noticing is so many people could be going through the grieving process and not even know it. I mean, think about the 5 stages of grieving, right? The denial, the bargaining, right? The depression, and, you know, the acceptance, hopefully, right? And that happens for romantic relationships, friendships, family connections, career. There's so many things that encompass all of those emotions. So like I said, I think I would love to have a discussion with all of you. Yeah, the anger. Did I say anger? I may have missed that. Yeah, the anger. Ooh, the anger. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So anyways, I'm going to work on that video tonight and try to post it and see where it goes, you know? So let's do the chakra reading, like I said. I'm not going to film it on my own and then post it. I figured I'd do it with all of you today because I didn't get a chance earlier today. So let's do a chakra reading, different style than we're used to. We're going to take 3 overall messages for the chakras. Now, chakras are the energy centers in your body, right? We have the root chakra, which is your base, your foundation, your sacral, high gardens, which is your Venus, right? It's your self-worth, self-value, self-respect. The solar plexus, which is your personal power, your heart, which is matters of the heart, right? Even intuition for that matter, like the electric magnetic field of your heart, so to speak. And then we've got the throat chakra for communication, our third eye, which is of course our intuition, and then our crown chakra, our downloads, right? That beautiful white light. So let's take a look at some overall themes and messages, what we need to know today about our chakras. And it says action leads to success. So for those of you today that are feeling a little bit stuck, I always say that you need to spark new energy to move yourself forward. Whenever I'm feeling stuck, I'm thinking of ways that I can segue myself out of something. You know, earlier today I was reminded of a situation in my career. I would say back in maybe, I don't know, 2020, 2021, where I witnessed something at school. I didn't like it. It made me really think about what I was doing. And that day I went home and I said, I got to do something different. I've got to segue myself. And that's kind of what motivated me to do this professionally. Hi, Curly. How are you? This is a chakra reading that we're doing right now. Different kind of reading than I usually do. I normally record these and put them on YouTube, but this one I'm going to do it live with all of you. And today I had a moment of that as well a little bit, where I said to myself, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to do to segue myself into some new energy? You're feeling pretty stuck today too, Nick. So I don't think you're alone in that. I think many people are feeling, you know, a little bit powerless and emotional. Yeah, Garns, I'm glad that you appreciate that. You know, segueing out of something, bonjour mon ami. Segueing ourselves into, oh, a chakra reading. So Curly, what we're going to do is we're going to get the energy for each chakra or energy center in the body. And right now I'm just taking some overall themes and messages. So this would be like a solar plexus kind of card, because this is saying, okay, action leads to success. Now, ultimately, it's not about working hard. It's about working smart. Be mindful about how much effort you put into something. Just because you put effort into something doesn't mean that it's going to go the way you want it to. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Hi, Steph. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? There was an instance when I was teaching of a video that my students had to make. And I'll never forget when they went to go present this video to the class. These 3 girls were working on it pretty hard. And to be honest, they missed the mark. They didn't really fulfill the assignment. Now, they thought they did an amazing job, and I appreciate that they thought so. But then what happened was we got to the end of the video. They had bloopers, and we were all laughing, and the bloopers were pretty funny. And then it came time for me to give them feedback. And I had to be honest with them. And I said, I loved the bloopers. I understand the energy and the work that you put into it. However, you missed this, and this. And I'll never forget how they cried. They were very hurt. They left the classroom with, you know, a long face. One in particular was very hurt because she thought that she put all of her work into it. The problem is that when you miss the mark like that, you have to recognize that just because you put a lot of effort into something doesn't mean that it's an A+. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the grade or the mark that you want. Hi, pretty. And so it was a lesson in working smart versus working hard, meaning you've got to make sure that you're meeting certain criteria in order to have your success. You need to set some goals or set some intentions. Just because you spend hours on something does not mean that it's naturally going to be a success. Right? There's more thought that has to go into it. Not just getting to the final product. You have to go through the motions, right? The inquiry process, the asking questions, the finding the answers, compiling the data, and then making a final product. Hi, Veronica. Hopefully I said that already. I don't know if I did. And you're right, Garns. All you can do is try your best. But the thing is that we can't rush the process. And I think so many of us want to rush the process. We want instant gratification. So action doesn't mean that you're going to solve something overnight. It means that you're going to take the methodical steps to getting to your goal, and maybe having a little checklist along the way that says, where am I? Am I meeting my needs and my goals? You know, or am I missing certain things along the way? So that's an example of working hard, working versus working smart. I've seen many times in the classroom where there was a crossover or maybe a misunderstanding of what that means, you know? So let's take another overall message for, oops, I'm sorry, I knocked the camera to IG here. Let's see what else we need to know about this energy. And we have key. And this is interesting because whenever I see the key, I think confidence is key. Oh, there's the confirmation of the honk. Communication is key. And this particular card actually says, new beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. Very strong messaging of the day. Are you willing to let go of the past? And let me give you some insight about grief. Here's the thing. It's a really tough beast. It's unique to everyone. But the thing about new beginnings is that one has to be ready or willing to completely let go of the past, like this. Let it go. Now, easier said than done, but you can't be sitting on the fence when it comes to your new life and your old life. People are afraid to have the new life. That's why they cling on to the old life. It's the comfort zone that's not so comfortable. So when it comes to moving on from a relationship, moving on from trauma, there's this element of being open to sparking new things. I think we're worried that we're going to forget the past or the old stories. We start feeling guilty about what we're leaving behind. Hi, Tatiana. It's, yeah, yesterday's in the tomb, tomorrow's in the womb. You have to move forward with today. I love that, Mike. That's a really beautiful thing. I think that all of these things are, yes, easier said than done. I would never say that it's going to be easy to just be like this and let go. It doesn't happen that way. It's not necessarily an if he wanted to, he would, or if she wanted to, she would. But it's about slow, methodical steps. Making the decision. Turning the key. Opening the door to something new and closing the old story. It's tough. Nobody ever said it would be easy. Let's take another card and see what we need to know. And we have meditate and contemplate. This is that Pisces energy. Now, Pisces energy is one that marries potential and divorces reality. And I say that respectfully to Pisces because they see the best in things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how everything actually is. So you have to use a bit of discernment, and yeah, you can think about things, but you're not there to overthink everything, right? There's only so much you can control. So how do you let go when the love is still so strong? Love never dies, Aaron. This is the thing. You can love someone till the cows come home. Just because you love someone doesn't mean that it's the right relationship. Just because you love each other does not mean that there's an ease or that it's meant to be forever. Sometimes things are a season and a reason. And that's very hard for us to accept sometimes. It's like an investment. Think of Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, depending on the country you're watching it in. You know, sometimes people invest so much in a business that they don't want to give up. They don't want to stop because they've come this far. And it's the same thing in love. But I'm going to tell you that you're not going to lose what's meant for you. And number two, you're not starting at zero. You're starting with knowledge that you really didn't have before. So you're smarter, you're wiser, and you can absolutely do better. But you have to choose to do better, right? You have to really want to. And yeah, sometimes it takes years to release and recover. Acknowledge it happened and it propelled you forward. Exactly, Steph. So something I said in the video that I was filming today was that we have to take responsibility and accountability for where we've been, where we're at, and where we want to be. We do have a choice. And oftentimes we get dealt cards that are never, easy, but there are ways to work through them, even at a slow, methodical pace. I'm very sorry, Roseanne, that you feel that way about your sister. That's really tough. You trusted her. And so this is all about boundaries, right? Bonjour, Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie, we're doing a chakra reading, like the ones I would normally record, but we're doing it live today because I didn't get a chance to record it for YouTube, and I thought, well, why not do it right now? So today's energy really is telling us that we need to take some action. We need to unlock the door, maybe even lock away the old stuff, right? And then meditate and contemplate, meaning let's think about where we want to go and what we want to do and who we want to be, but we also have to use discernment. So let's get into the cards and see what we need to know about our root chakra today. This is our Mars energy, okay? This is about us taking action, building solid foundations. So for our Mars energy, we have the King of Coins, and this is where it's tricky. The King of Coins or King of Pentacles is an energy that is a long road. It's not going to harvest overnight. It's going to take a lot of time. Hi, Nanady. How are you? This is an energy that says slow and steady wins the race. And this is what I was saying earlier. If something rides in quickly, it can leave just as fast. And we don't necessarily want that. That's a short-term gain with a long-term pain. We would almost rather have the short-term pain with the long-term gain. So the King of Coins may be slow and unexciting, but it will get us to where we want eventually. It just depends on the detours and the decisions we make or take. So here's the Lion card. Let's clarify that King of Coins. The Lion card is all about being heart-centered. It's about making decisions from the heart And I'm not talking about romantically, because we're not here to make decisions based on love for another person or what we can gain from another person. We're looking at the energy that is good for us. What does our heart tell us? You know that the longest journey is from the head to the heart, right? So if you're getting in your own way, how do you move yourself forward? So the Lion energy here, yeah, Ronnie, it's strength, it's courage, it's Leo energy, it's doing what you're passionate about. It even talks about, you know, overcoming difficulties. This is what we're trying to do, and it takes time to overcome those difficulties naturally. So let's take another oracle card to see what we need to know about that king. And we have friends. So there's the answer. Remember I said to you earlier, this can be friends, this can be family, this can be romantic relationships, this can be your career. Hi, Linnea. I'm well, thank you. How are you? So some of you may be feeling guilty about moving yourselves forward and leaving people and situations behind. And that's tough, right? Because obviously we want to please, but we can't please everyone. We have to protect our own energy, and we have to do what's right for us. Now, looking at the sacral chakra, which is Venus, that's your self-worth, self-value, self-respect, how you love, how you spend money. Now you have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is telling you that you're getting a nudge. You know, you're getting a nudge. This is something that is pushing you forward, but you have to be careful with signs and synchronicities, as I've said recently. They can pull you backwards and they can pull you forwards. If you're seeing birthdays and names on trucks or all these signs about a person, ask yourself, is it really about them or is it about you? Oftentimes those signs pull you backwards into a comfort zone that's not so comfortable. And so we have to use angel numbers, signs, and synchronicities as something to show us that we're on the right track. So let's see. And Roseanne, this is the thing. I understand what you're saying. Can't trust anymore. This goes on from childhood. There are ways to trust, but you have to implement boundaries with those who you've seen and they have proven that you can't trust. Oh, I'm so sorry, Brie. I'm really sorry to hear that. It always makes you sad. And you know, I made this grief video this morning thinking about muscle memory. I think when we're thinking about a past loved one, we get into this like physical mode where we're bracing ourselves because we know how the story played out. Thank you, Jose. We go through the motions of what's going on in those days. And then all of a sudden we start to relive them, you know? And I think I want to approach the passing of my father with a celebration of his life. It's like PTSD, Jen. I don't want to think about those days leading up to when he died. I want to think about the good memories that we had together, the things that he said to me, the inside jokes that we had. You know, I think those things for me personally give me a lot of peace and a lot of comfort. And I think everybody has a different relationship to death. So it really depends ultimately on what experiences you've had. But I want to have a different muscle memory. I want to shift that energy for myself. So let's see. The High Priestess is the signs and synchronicities. And there's the diamond ring. This is my point. We need to go to the next level. We need to set intentions. And we need to make an agreement that something may be better or that we're going to strive for better. You know? And that's the thing, Roseanne, you have to protect your energy. This is a coffee kind of live. It is, Mike, it is. Hi, Shell. I missed you too. Yeah, Jen just said, so you have to write out all your happy memories and only think of those and rehearse them and they will become strong or stronger than the pain. I agree. The anniversary of your father passing is this Saturday. You try to remember the good things, but it seems like you're extra emotional lately. And yeah, it's not a surprise, you know, because the full moon was very heavy. It brings us to a fork in the road. We know things are changing. There's a lot of projecting, a lot of pushing away. It's tough energy. Do something my dad would love, celebrate him as if he's right there with you. You do that with your brother's anniversary. I think that's a lovely idea, Steph. You haven't dated since. You know, Bria, I totally understand it. But at a certain point, we have to recognize that our loved ones would want us to be happy, and there's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there and finding love again. It doesn't mean you don't love the other person. Hi, Chrissy. So the High Priestess, see, I just said it, forked road. Fork and right. Geez, right? We've got this forked road that says, are we in the old? Are we in the new? You know, you had a fire with him on his birthday. That sounds wonderful. So, yeah, you know, I think we have a decision to make. Hi, Sarah. Let's take a look at the solar plexus. Let's see what we need to know about our personal power right now, that energy of taking action. And look, there's the Wheel of Fortune, growth, expansion, and good luck. We don't want to fight the shift. I always tell you, don't try to fight it. If you're trying to fight the shift, you're going to get more tired, more exhausted. Things are going to be against you instead of for you. And it's almost like just getting in your own way. And sometimes there's a bit of self-sabotage with that, right? Because we're afraid, what's next? What am I going to worry about when I have nothing to worry about? What am I going to do when I have this freedom? What do I do with myself? What do I do with my time? And so there's an element of good luck here. The question is, will you invite that in? Will you embrace it? So with that, we have the rings. Now, very interesting that we just had the diamond ring. Bye, Nick. Have a wonderful night. We just had the diamond ring, and now we have the wedding bands. The ring is about a bond, an agreement, a pact, yes, soul contracts even. But it's also about a commitment and trust. Continuing on, right? The circle of life, not to get all, you know, cheesy here, but there's this element of continuation, that life does continue, you know. It's a hard thing to accept. I mean, think about this, and I can give you many examples that are not just about the loss of a person. But, you know, when someone passes, the really hard thing to digest is that eventually people stop calling or people stop reaching out. They don't know what to say. They're not really there like they used to be when things were tough or when someone passed. Think about when you're at work and you're struggling with whether you should stay or go. The job still continues. People are still, you know, going to work every day, coming home. It's the same old, same old. Whenever I get together with my old teacher friends, what do you think is the conversation? It's all the same stuff that's been happening on and on and on for years and years and years, and people just keep doing it. They don't really think about me not being there because at this point, they've just gone about their lives and I've gone about mine. And so we have to recognize that every person is responsible for their own healing and their own decisions and pushing themselves forward, even when it's difficult. So Mike just said, I struggle with that daily right now, what to do with my time. No more full-time caregiving now. I'm left to my own devices. And Mike, I say this to you lovingly and respectfully. Sometimes when we have a gap in the calendar or the agenda, it means that we have time to think. And sometimes we like to be busy so that we don't have to think. We don't have to focus on our own caregiving. It's easier to focus on other people's care. And so this is a real time for you to figure out who you are and what you want to do with yourself. Hi, Ginger. Good evening. So I understand it's not easy. You know, I think everybody goes through this in different aspects, whether that is, again, you know, relationship-wise, career-wise, family-wise, identity. It's really important to us. So let's see what we need to know about that trust or that continuing on. See, roundabout. You can't make this up. You could do the same old, same old. You could go round and around and around and around, or you can make new connections, find new community, go in a new direction. It says, keep it moving. Yeah. I understand, Mike. It says perfect timing, and it says redirect, you know? So it's an energy that says we've got to figure out what's next without the pressure. Slow, methodical steps. Nothing has to be set in stone. Just set some intentions, right? And see where they take you. So let's take a look at the heart chakra. What do we need to know in matters of the heart? The Hermit. How many of you are hermiting yourselves? You're isolating yourself. You're pushing people away maybe. Or you're noticing that you're in a bit of self-preservation. You have a hard time letting go. Then I realized I needed to focus on me and stop overgiving. Yeah, you know, Steph, that's a very common feeling. Overgiving sometimes gives us a purpose, but it very rarely serves us a purpose, right? I mean, I've come to the conclusion that overgiving really does nothing for us, you know? And focusing on self is not selfish. It's good to focus on yourself, but you can't worry about other people making you feel guilty. Only you can make yourself feel guilty. And I cringe when I even repeat it, because when my mother said it to me, I remember being so irritated by it. I was thinking to myself, why does everybody make me feel guilty for trying to live my best life or push myself forward? You know, I'm studying, I'm growing, I'm changing, and yet I feel guilty for that. But I'm making myself feel guilty, not the other people. It's really just projection, right? So you have been for years. Can't be around certain energies. You pick it up too easily. Yeah, hermit is an understatement, and you used to be an extrovert. I understand. Would those people reciprocate? Probably not. So this is the thing, Steph. I think expectations are the root of all problems. We overgive because we want to be loved. We do things for other people because we hope that they would do the same thing for us. And when they don't, we're disappointed, right? You finally don't need to overgive. It's weird, not gonna lie, but he really meets me on the giving. And that's the key, right? It's equal giving and receiving, or close to it. You were overgiving so much when you started putting yourself first. I felt selfish. Yeah, Carrie, a lot of people feel selfish when they do that, but it's not selfish. That's just a programming of society and people that shame us into thinking that we have to be everything to everyone. And we really don't need to be. You don't expect it. Then when someone gives me something, it feels awkward. Well, Steph, I'll slightly beg to differ on that. I'm not saying you consciously, you know, don't expect it. But the thing is that I think there's always a subconscious in people that says, if I do this, you will too. And then it's very disappointing when they don't, you know? And I think so too, Laura. That's very encouraging that you're saying this to Mike, that he'll find a way to fill that new free time with a lot of good things. Grief is a process. Yeah, it's going to take some time for sure. A lot of that is fresh for you, Mike. That's the thing, right? And we can't necessarily force anything today or tomorrow, but you're going to have to feel it out step by step and day by day. So that hermit mode in the heart space, it's almost like somebody's trying to find clarity. They're trying to find the why. And this came up actually in a conversation recently with someone where I said, you really are wanting to know the why, but there are some things that just can't be answered. We all know the answer within, right? And sometimes we're just looking for that confirmation from another person. Let's say they weren't interested in us in the same way, or, you know, something happened within the family and we don't have a reason for it. We're always trying to think of the whys, and the whys don't really matter. And I think many of you can identify with being why people. You know, Ginger just said, I'm very much a why person. Sometimes there isn't an answer, and you don't always need to know. It ends with you. Closure ends with you, not from another person giving an apology or explaining something. Oftentimes it just requires you to have the boundary that says, I'm not going to let this consume me anymore. Mike just said, if you overfill your cup, if you overgive, eventually, oh, that's what it is. If you overgive, eventually your cup will be drained with nothing left to give. Yeah, because we didn't give ourselves first. Yeah, to replenish. Exactly. How can we take care of anyone else if we're not taking care of ourselves? Yeah, we give it all and they don't appreciate, and you don't understand. So, Nana, this is the thing. When I was going through my end of marriage, let's call it that, I'll never forget the day that I was walking with a friend and I said, I do this, 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 and this, and who cares about me? And it's not a matter of people not caring about me. Hi, Mish. It's not that they didn't care about me. Hi, Susie. It's that I felt like I was doing too much with very little in return. And I recognized that I had to stop doing that. Like, what was it serving me? You know, and they're not going to wake up one morning and say, geez, I'm going to stop asking Kelly for favors. They're not going to say, geez, you know, I'm going to stop pushing Kelly's buttons today or push her boundaries. And this is the problem. When you start making boundaries, people get upset because it basically takes you out of their energy if you move on. And they don't like that because they like you doing things for them. They like being able to go to you, to dump on you, to push your boundaries. So when you're making moves, they're trying to pull you backwards because they're not comfortable with change. They want to keep everything status quo, but you don't. Maybe you're ready for a move. And that's how we get pulled backwards. We don't want to lose our friendships. We don't want to lose our relationships. But again, you're not going to lose what's meant for you. The people who understand you will love you and be there. The people who don't, unfortunately, they will show. They will show themselves. And this is telling you it's time. So it's okay to hermit yourself a little bit. At the same time, you can't stay in that hermit mode forever. So be mindful that you're not staying closed off. Remember what I always say about walls and boundaries. Walls, you can put them up, you can be in self-preservation, but they're going to keep you stuck. Boundaries mean you have clear lines, but you're still going to move yourself forward and maintain those lines. If they're with you, they're with you. And if they're not, right? So let's take a look at the throat chakra and see what we need to know about our communication. We're still in Mercury retrograde. A lot of miscommunications, misunderstandings, whatever you want to call it. 9 of Cups. Ask and you shall receive. Finding your voice. So be demure, be mindful, be cutesy. I said today, Mish, at the beginning of this reading, I'm going to post this on YouTube later, but I was talking about how my word of the day was barrage. You know, a word that I very rarely ever use, but a barrage of energies. It's almost like when something is coming at you from every angle, you know? And so, hi Trish. Thanks, I'm glad you're here. You know, 9 of Cups is ask and you shall receive. A lot of the times we're so afraid to ask for something. We're so afraid to ask for help, ask for clarification, you know, because we're afraid of the answer. We're afraid we're not going to receive. We're afraid we're not going to get the answer we want. So we sometimes just stay hermited, or we just stay quiet, or we don't express ourselves. And I've been there. I battle that in my life a lot, because the one thing I can tell you about Virgos is that they love hard, but they can also keep that very stuff down. I think many people can identify with that, not just Virgos. But sometimes we're just afraid to put ourselves out there. So my advice is start asking. You know, life gives you exactly what you ask for, says Tony Robbins. Yeah, Michael. I mean, like, here's the thing. If we're manifesting or trying to manifest, hi, Andrea. If we're trying to manifest something, you have to be so mindful of what you think, feel, say, and do, because you might just get it. It's be careful what you wish for. You know, I remember when my marriage was kind of going downhill, and I'll never forget the night. I can tell you exactly where I was standing, what I was doing. And I said, you know, it might just be easier if he found somebody else. I thought to myself how much easier that would be. Like maybe if he found somebody else, that would be a quick way to end everything and move on. And then I got it. And it was the worst thing I could have ever asked for, you know, because it wasn't just him I was dealing with. I had a woman that was coming at me, and you would think it would be the opposite scenario, right? I wasn't going after her. She was coming after me. She wanted my life. She wanted to do everything she possibly can to hurt me. And so there I was. I asked for something, and I got it. And so be mindful of what you say, what you think, what you feel, and what you do. Now, I know it's not always rainbows and butterflies. It's not always going to be all positivity and optimism, but you got to ask for the right things, and you got to be clear about what you want. Sometimes asking for other people to make decisions for us or to choose us puts us in the wrong position. You have to remember that you have the power. You can choose. You can decide for yourself. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. And as soon as we start putting our energy into other people, we actually lose ourselves. And then that's when we end up grieving the loss of identity, because we don't know who we are anymore. So some food for thought, but 9 of Cups is ask and you shall receive. Now, the fish card here is about abundance. We want to attract abundance, right? We have all the resources. We have all the tools to manifest the things that we want. but our words really have to match our energy, and that can be very tricky for people, right? So with that, we have the universe. The universe is listening to you. You can't even make this up right now, right? So Mish just said, I've realized how much I've abandoned myself today. In what aspect, Mish? How so? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but the universe is listening. It's also speaking to you. This says source, infinite, enduring, eternal, creation, awakening, interconnected, higher perspective, the big picture, creative force. You have the ability to co-create with the universe. So never forget that. Yes, I'm going to post this later. All my comments stopped flowing. I apologize, IG. They just literally stopped. I was wondering where everybody was. Yeah, Sandy, that's right. At the time you realized you no longer cared what people thought. I get it. Sometimes they're obsessed with your energy. We bring light. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. All these comments. I'm so sorry. The only why I concern myself with anymore is why am I making the choices and the moves that you're making? Exactly. Oh my goodness. All these comments that didn't scroll. I'm so sorry. I miss saying happy birthday. Do Virgos ever express their emotions? They do, once they get to a point where they can't hold back anymore. Oh, thank you, Linnea, for your kind words. Hi, Sunny. That bit you in the butt a few days ago, Alex? Oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't see any of these. Oh my goodness. Okay, now, no, I wasn't ignoring you. I'm so sorry. Miss just said, doing for others and neglecting your own health. Exactly. I know how you feel. I'm so sorry, IG. No, I wouldn't be ignoring you. Literally, the comments just stopped. And then finally I went, I think I'm going to start scrolling. And I realized that it was just stuck. There you go. See? Glitches. Mercury retrograde. Miscommunications. No surprise. No surprise. Let's see. Let's take a look now at, what was that? That was the throat chakra. Oh, a ladybug landed on you, Michael. That's a good luck, sign of good luck. Good for you. Keynote speaking. I'm very proud of you, Michael. I was in hermit mode. I don't know what happened. No, I wasn't playing favorites to TikTok. No, Mike, not at all. Not at all. It just literally stopped. Like literally the comments just stopped. Good thing I checked. Good thing I checked. Hi, Pauline. Okay, let's take a look at third eye. This is Jupiter. I'm glad we can laugh. Serious talks, but laughs all at the same time. Look at Four of Swords, healing, rest, and rejuvenation. If you need to rest, if you need to take a break, oh, thank you, Ann. I appreciate it. I love you guys too. Hi, I'm Louise. Which third eye? Mish, I know it. I know that joke. I know that joke. Are you referring to the bum, Michelle? There was a TikTok video years ago that we used to laugh about, and I wish I could find a copy of that one. I know, here we go. And for those of you that have seen it, you know. If you haven't, oh my gosh. I know, Mish. I know which one you meant. Which third eye? I was referring to this one, but I mean, hey, listen, to each their own. The video basically was this. It was a man, Mike, you make me laugh. It was a man talking about how in very vulnerable positions, he makes eye contact, if you know what I mean. And the joke was that he has intimate conversations with this third eye. Yeah, you bet that cheered Mike up. I bet it did too. Yes, yes. They both speak. They sure do stuff. And so when women saw this video, they just were like, oh my gosh, like they just started laughing. And so the way he spoke in this video was priceless. It was one of the funniest videos I have ever seen. And it actually somehow does not exist on TikTok anymore. Apparently it still exists on Facebook. But again, I don't know the creator. But we've laughed about this video many a time. So thanks, Mish. Thanks, Mish, for bringing that up. That's a different third eye conversation. But we're healing the, yeah, I don't remember. I know somebody sent it to me a long time ago. It's got to be in my DM somewhere, but it's on Facebook. I know that. It's not on TikTok or IG anymore. That must be a deep conversation. Sure. It sure might be. Yeah, I think Veronica found it for me, or Riley. I think Riley. Yes, we're healing the third eye. We're healing the third eye. There you go. So rest, rejuvenation, taking a bit of a time out. I love it. I love that we can laugh about such things. You went to a theme park today and you didn't miss it. Hey, listen, sometimes those places can be overcrowded for sure and stressful. Hi, Ursula. How are you? I love you too. I love you too. That's okay. Mish just said, sorry guys, Mish is deflecting. The storm card. Oh boy. Some of you are having a storm of emotions or even like liberation to free yourself. Let me give you an example of something I talked about today. Being that we're at the time of the year now where people are going back to school, let me tell you a little story about ending the school year. And this comes from a teacher perspective. Every teacher that I know at the end of the school year, yes, is excited that it's the summer vacation because it's been a rough year. We've dealt with a lot. It's overwhelming and you need a bit of a break, especially a mental break. And here's what used to happen to me specifically. I would leave the year-end meeting. We'd have our lunch, have our meeting. I would be perfectly healthy and fine. I'd get home, sit down, maybe even take a small nap, and I would end up sick as anything. I would end up with a cold, a flu, a migraine. And why is that? The body was letting go after everything that had been held tightly over the last 10 months of work. A lot of you are in the same boat, just in other aspects of your life, where you've been holding on, you've been in self-preservation, you've been fighting the shift, and then all of a sudden you let go and you end up just absolutely sick. And it's because you have to free yourself. You have to liberate yourself. You've got to go through the storm in order to have the clarity or in order to have the healing. And so if you've ever had that feeling, you know, and it would happen to me every single year, you know? You're full of emotions at the moment. You really want to send a DM to someone we don't really know each other. We spoke just casually. So you have to sort of like ask yourself the intention behind that DM or behind that message. Is it for validation or is it because you don't care what the response is? Is it chasing? Is it reaching out just to connect? So many things about that. You've got to ask yourself, what is the intention behind it? There's nothing wrong with reaching out, but you have to ask the intention, right? Yeah, every holiday you got that. That's what happened to you after your mom died because you've been looking after her for so long. Exactly. The body responds, right? So let's take a look at the crown chakra. We're almost there. Let's see what we need to know about the downloads that are coming through. Princess of Coins or Page of Coins is studying, it's learning, and it's recognition. I think what's happening to people right now is that they're learning a lot of lessons, things are coming to light, and there's an offer of something new. The question is, are you willing to accept that offer? Are you willing to learn the lessons so that you don't do the same thing over and over and over again? You know right now that you've got something to do. You got to get something done, and this says head of the pack. So again, work smart, not hard, right? This says successful, get it done, be motivated, persist, and have the will to win. It takes consistency. It takes time. None of this happens overnight. I mean, I've been going through this my own self really since about my reawakening, I would call it 2017, but I can feel the energies leading up to it. Like I know it didn't just start in 2017. There was a process even before that. It really has been the last 10 years of my life, you know? So these are things that take time. How many have I had? What, in reference to what, Mish? Just let me clarify. Let's see what we need to know from this deck. See, happening soon. you know it's coming. We had its time. It's happening soon. You're good at burning the book and starting a new one. Well, good. Good, Jose. I like that. Yeah, Mish. I know. I'm just clarifying. 2023 was when you surrendered. Yeah, yours started about 6 or 7 years ago. Well, my friends, let's take a Power of Surrender card and see what we need to surrender or surrender to. That made you think of Rudy the Rabbit, the winner, speech from the Meatballs movie? I don't recall that. I'm going to have to revisit that. But maybe somebody else would remember. Let's see what we need to surrender or surrender to. There you go. Reawakenings. But since I opened up that door, which door, Mish? Which door did I open? Speaking of the third eye. Reawakenings. I can think of 2 really significant experiences for me. But I do believe we have many. Yeah, now you're done. Now you're done. I know, Mish. I know you. I love you. Look at this last message, and you can't really make it up. And it says, surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. Yeah, that's my Uranus and Scorpio, or my Scorpio and Uranus, whichever direction you wanna go. But it's about your boundaries, your limits, and knowing how to say no. So I hope that this resonated with you. Like I said, I'm going to post this on YouTube just like I would have posted my, recorded chakra reading. But I wanted to do this with you guys today as something different. And I appreciate all of you being here with me. I really love you all. And I want you to have the best of the best of the best. And if I can do that in any way, then I've accomplished something. So tell me, what's your plan for the rest of the day? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What's on the agenda? Oh, thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate it, Steph. Thank you. Scorpios love playing with Uranus. If you know, you know. Very true. You're welcome, Veronique. You're welcome. Thank you, lady. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Mike. Maybe I have to do it more often. You're welcome. Finishing packing? Aw, thanks, Nicole. I love you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Artemis. Thanks, Ronnie. You're laughing about how many? You're going to go for a long walk, Jose? Sounds good. It's actually really nice weather. It's cooled down a little bit. It's not as hot, but it's still nice. It's been a long week. Yeah, you're going to sleep? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, Steph. Making dinner and relaxing. Have a wonderful evening. Hi, Gojira. Yeah, I need to check on that third eye. Better get that mirror out. You were off IG for a while and now found me on TikTok. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's cooled down. You can't wait for fall? That's the Sag in you, Jose. I mean, Sag season is the fall, right? Going to bed, hanging out with the kids, and then with him. That sounds wonderful. Have a good night, Jen. Thank you. You're welcome, Sujata. Thanks, Sandy. Figuring out dinner and binge watching Fear the Walking Dead. Sounds good. You're welcome, Patricia. Hi, Nancy. Colder the better? You like that, eh, Ronnie? You're going to sleep, Pauline? Sounds good. I'm going to go make some dinner. 11:11. Perfect, Ursula. Perfect. That's okay, Hasnain. I'm going to put it on YouTube as soon as I possibly can. It's got to download. Oh, I love you too, Mish. I'm sending you love. You're going to watch Prison Break? Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, Tracy. Thank you, Jose. I will. I'm going to make some steak, some vegetables. No, tonight, no Turkish food. No. No. Good night, Val. Thanks, Dana. All right, my friends. I love you lots. Let me know when I post the grief video, your thoughts. I don't know. I need some feedback. I need your help. So some comments, some ideas would really, really help me out. Thank you, Laura. Have a wonderful night. Do absolutely nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh my goodness, you have a mild concussion. Rest, please. Rest, please. Okay? Thanks, Jose. You too. You like steak, eh, Mike? I'm so Canadian, eh? Thanks, Sujata. Oh, I bet you were cracking up, Mish. There's a theme. Peach, third eye, cracking up. I see a theme. Hi, Sandy. Thanks, Morpho. I'm so glad it was helpful. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. Love you lots. I'm going to say goodbye to IG now. So IG, have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys. Oh, didn't want me to go. There we go. Bye. Your subconscious needs help. It's all good, Mish. I'm just teasing you. Working tonight. See you tomorrow. Perfect, Hannes. I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. It's all below the belt, Pauline, isn't it? TikTok number 1. Uh-oh. With IG not here to fight back. It's all good. It's all good. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Click on this thing here. It never wants me to click the button. I've tried now 3 times. There we go. Take care, everyone.